What up, world? It's your boy John, and we're back with the world's most inconsistently consistent podcast ever. As always, this is the Just No BS podcast. I'm joined with my two co-hosts,
If
and
should work out.
and as you probably noticed from the last episode, we got a new layout. The system we've been using to record gives us some more layout options. So instead of seeing us in a triple line, we got a little more space. So, ignore the backgrounds behind you. They might be a little more bland than you're used to. But how y'all been, boys? What's good? What's good?
Go ahead. Uh, just getting work done. You know my job and everything, and right now everyone's anxious because of everything that's going on in the world. So,
That's putting it lightly.
to say the least.
Yeah, my industry deals in international people, so yeah, it's looking pretty hard out here. What about you, Cal? How you been?
And looking and searching, trying to stay positive, trying to stay motivated. We're gonna get into it a little bit later with the AI conversations, but just seeing how much AI is integral to the job searching and the hiring process. Like you gotta be your own hype man sometimes because it'll get very discouraging if you think about what's on the other side of that your application has been successfully submitted thing. Like it's not even a person more times than not. Um,
Yeah, no, it's getting insane out here for real. Like one of my friends is starting to do another job search too, and he was telling me how his wife made him use ChatGPT to update his resume, and I'm just like, did you read it? I hope you looked at it, bro, before it tells you you worked on the moon or something.
Man, if only you knew how many times I have someone come in with a resume and they tell me, "Oh, hey, I had ChatGPT make it." I'm like, "Did you read it?" Well, no, I haven't yet. And I immediately start saying, "Okay, well, this is gonna screw things up. This is gonna be wrong. This one, tell me how this is even applied. I never did that. You should have read the rest. Come on."
it's a dangerous reliance. So again, even being a writer, that type of stuff is fun. I will say one of the biggest things I hate during this job hunt, stop trying to ask me personal questions. Job companies, can we just do this? If you want some personal information, schedule a freaking interview. Can we do that? Don't ask me what attracts you to this company. Bitch, it is a recession right now.
I need
Or
work.
I need money. Nigga, don't ask me stupid questions. Like,
Even outside of recession, I always hated that question. It's like, your company sounded like a good fit. I need a job. Clearly, that's why I'm doing this.
Like, what did you expect was going to be the answer? Actually, I don't know.
I
I
thought
just
y'all,
decided to randomly show up.
I thought y'all, sounded like rainbows and butterflies. Like, what are y'all talking about?
and then we sound like assholes if we're like, oh, what happened to the person who got fired from this position or quit? Now I'm the asshole because I'm returning the question. Why am I interested in the company? Why are you trying to replace somebody with me? What happened to the last?
Yeah, asking too many questions.
Oh, I used to flip that on company so many times. One of my favorite go-to final questions is like, oh, do you have any questions for us? As a matter of fact, I do. What's your company culture like? That's basically a sneaky way of saying, what's it look like over here?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had to hit a couple of companies like that. Because, one dude let slip, that the turnover was like 50%. I was like, in what time frame? It's basically, because the 50% in like a
Doesn't matter the
month.
time frame if it's that bad.
Yeah. Because you tell me turnover is 50% every 4 years. Okay, someone could get promoted, someone might just find something better. You never know. A week? 2 weeks? A month? That ain't for me, dog.
Well, see, even if someone gets promoted and everything, then that's technically not turnover there because they're still keeping the employee. They're just moving them to a new position. Like, if they're saying that it's 50% and it's just from people leaving, I don't know.
That ain't gonna be me, chief. Well, you know how we do. We like to start off a little banter. And now, with our newest running segment, that just seems to be the gift that keeps on giving. On this week's episode of Y'all Just Hate Women, why is Tyla in the news? What'd she do? Seriously, before we actually talk about what happened, what did she actually do? I'll wait.
I think a lot of it has to do with with this whole what is it, like FBA, ADOS,
Oh,
data,
ADOS and yeah.
like that. Because it's like, again, we're gonna say this a few times this episode. I want y'all to be prepared. This shit is a psyop, okay? So I feel like there are various levels of culture war that's happening. And if you think that I'm lying, just sit back and look at your algorithm. Look what gets the most engagement, what has the most people feverishly responding, retweeting, quote tweeting it, stitching it, da da da, whatever the
Clipping
case.
it.
Yeah, whatever the case may be. If it's not men versus women, it is American born black people versus foreign born black people, or like first or second generation black people, or American born black people versus African born black people, who like it's a cacophony, a smorgasbord of fuck shit. Or then you'll see like a just inherent class debate. Like this person makes six figures, da 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 da, or this person is like an hourly person who's probably scraping over 45,000, but they're single, so they shouldn't date if they make under 50,000. And then we're just we just start undercutting. Well, you're a man who's 5'9", you're a short king. I'm 6'3", I'm a. It's just culture war shit that's just spilling down, and I just think that again, she's the victim of it. This is just every couple of weeks we get this. It was Kai, Sanat. It was what was the other black dude? Dang, I'm forgetting his name right now. But another streamer guy. It was her. Um, Previously, it was like Nicki Minaj doing it with SZA.
Although Nicki
Yeah,
Minaj deserved that because that's another
Nicki.
day. That's
Yeah,
another story for another day, bro.
but I'm just saying. This is again like SZA's, American born, raised, blah, blah, blah. Nicki's from the islands or whatnot coming. So it's all of these like just segmented, like, well, we're different, so we can't get along. I just think she's just the latest victim, and she's young, so she hasn't gone through her like
Learning
mat.
phase.
Yeah, like her like this is your public faux pas. Everybody has one. So I think they're
Bro,
trying to get her on something.
Tyla's not even 25 yet. She's 23. Get this out my face. Bro, at 23, no one was this emotionally intelligent. So, to actually explain what's going on, Tyla has been basically it was either an episode of Breakfast, yeah, on an episode of Breakfast Club. Oh, and this
Yep.
happened like a while ago too. It wasn't even like recent. Um, she basically used the word colored to describe herself. Now, if you know anything about African American history, specifically American history, you know that colored is not a particularly good coin of phrase for us, to keep it simple. However, she is from South Africa. That phrasing has a completely different context. Like the N word don't mean jack to her for the most part, but if you would use a different word, which I will not say, you know, the culture is different. So like this causes whole hubbubaloo. Yes, we're gonna use hubbubaloo because this thing is stupid. Um, it causes whole nonsense of people talking about, oh, she came here profiting from America, but she's disrespecting us, and typical ADOS talking points. And it's just like it in her culture, they refer to people that look similar to her like colored. I'm pretty sure someone like Trevor Noah would use a similar terminology because they're from South Africa.
I
It,
believe he does use that.
yeah, and
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah,
he hit that corner, but this is all real quick, Jason, because
no, 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 good, go ahead,
this is a music thing, and I'm a music guy. So
cook.
this goes back to the bottoming out of the music industry. So like you used to have things to where it was like artist development. It would be like her hits on the Make Me Sweat,
Water, yeah.
thank you. So like typically what would have happened in times before this, it wouldn't have mattered if she had that record when she had that record. They would not let her put that record out until she went through the full media training We're sitting you down with the lawyers. We're sitting you down with the people at the label. You're going to take some soft skill acting. You're going to know how to professionally respond because there's different ways you can respond in different regions. You see what I'm saying? So yes, although she is not born and raised here, there are certain things that as soon as you get close or get into Black contemporary music space, Black cultural zeitgeist stuff, you need to understand where the landmines are. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of artists not being groomed in a proper way to be like the face of this next wave of artists coming from a label. There will be these trip ups, these hiccups and things like that. And oftentimes, my final point, even though the standard of journalism and media in general has fallen, media is still encoded to make you fuck up. They want a clippable thing to make their stuff go viral, make people watch the whole interview. That was one of them. Period.
Yeah, and what's also pretty insidious about this, and this is why I constantly have problems with this man, regardless how much he wants to talk about mental health. Charlemagne the God is such a, I can't even say ignorant because he knows what he's doing. He's just an asshole. Like the way he goes about certain things, I don't care how good his message is and how much he does for the Black community. There's some points where you just straight up can be an asshole. It was documented that her team were like, bro, you can't ask that to her. Like, and he still goes and asks her on live air to the point where, like, even though she's talking, you see her looking at the label people like, what do I do? Like he literally did that on purpose. Like that's another layer to this whole thing that is just utterly ridiculous. Like,
and American artists in around the time since he's been in there, American artists have gained much more teeth as to where they go at him directly because they know that he's an agitator. They know he's an inherent contrarian. They know that he's a feckless piece of garbage when it comes to the political landscape. That's not me speculating. Go and look at his political takes within the past 7 years alone. Again, we did not forget what happened. Charlemagne the God has been beat up, chased around the city, tortured. People have threatened him. His literal mentor is Wendy Williams. You cannot find a more messier woman in media history than Wendy Williams, and he came from her. She endorsed him and put him in this spot. So again, I remember just came to mind. It was August Alsina. He was on 106 in Park in the 2000s trying to promote an album, and he told the staff of BET and 106 in Park, hey, don't ask me about XYZ, XYZ. We can talk, have a whole candid conversation. And of course, they got him up there. They were like, bump him. We're trying to sensationalize this, get a moment. And then he made them look like idiots. It was like, now if I crash this shit right now and whoop-de-whoop, now I'm going to be looked at as a problem, but you just violated one of my wishes. So whoop-de-whoop. Other artists have done that as well. People have got up, walked out of interviews. People have done full-on smear campaigns against him. But again, that's an Americanized, oh, we know what you are. We're going to act accordingly with you. She doesn't have that context. Like you said, she's 20, I think at the time she was 22, 21.
barely, something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been in the game almost as long as she's been alive. He knows how to get people to say something that's going to trip them up or get them in trouble with the public. So it's like, you got to move smarter.
So I've got two questions in regards to that then. If people know what he's all about and they have to know going in to an interview with him that he's going to basically try to be an agitator in those conversations, why do people still keep scheduling, interviews with him? And then the second thing, for viewers and things of that nature, why do we still watch any of his interviews when we know he's going to sensationalize things and he's going to take things out of context?
Unfortunately, to answer both your questions, is because I'll answer step by step. So first off, The Breakfast Club specifically is one of the most syndicated radio shows across the U.S. Like, it is basically, it does the Stevie Harvey show numbers. So like most of the Black people who listen to the radio get their news in this way. If you're up early, if you're a garbage man up early, you probably listen to him. If you're got a 8 a.m. clock in, 7 a.m. clock in, you're probably listening to him. Like, it's just one of those things where, like, if people are talking about what the culture is saying, he's probably on the radio and you're hearing his voice as part of the culture.
And I've heard him on the radio on my way to work as well.
Yeah, so like, it's common, syndicated pretty much across the whole U.S., bright and early. This is what they're talking about. So that's one. So, and because of that influence he has, it kind of leads into your second part of your question. People still listen to him because, unfortunately, especially in our community, if you have that level of cachet, it just gives you a lot of influence. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Heck, people still listen and believe what Kanye says, regardless of the stuff he's done over the last 8 years. That's enough indication. So, like, he just has that cachet, and because he's one of those people that, quote unquote, is willing to ask the hard questions, when that really just means he has no tact and he just doesn't give a crap. People think he's being hard hitting and getting to the truth, when no, he's just acting without conscious. Like, no offense. Like, if any, I mean, no offense. If look at what happened when situations like that have arisen, but it's been someone with a little more cachet or a little more know-how. Nelly, allegedly, even though it's on the internet, I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't need people coming for me, but he was ready to put a hit on Charlemagne. He's like, we got retainers for it is a commonly quote that Nelly said to him in his face, I got retainers for bros like you. He said it, not me, but Nelly said that to him years ago. Birdman walked out of this interview like it's one of the funniest internet moments to this date, but Birdman just left because shoot, Soldier Boy crashed out on him. Drake, it's the funniest thing ever, but this is what happens. Like,
what was the white comedian? He's kind of bald. The conservative guys thought that he would rock with him, but he has a black wife, so he was very against the whole MAGA.
I was thinking Bill Burr, but no, it's
It is Bill Burr. It is Bill Burr.
Yeah, it is Bill Burr. Yeah, yep.
It's Bill Burr. Thank you. Because I was in my brain, my wife has watched Hamilton so fucking much.
Bill
I was like,
Burr called him out.
Yeah.
You let a white man who's, I'm not gonna lie, he's very keen into the black community. Respect, all props to him. But Bill Burr, a white man calling you out.
Walked you down.
Yeah.
Walked you down at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like the white dude just woke up and was like, I'm leaving my loving black wife, who I did not need to allegedly drug to have our first sexual encounter with, wink, wink, nod, nod, to come up here and read you for the filth that you are. You hyper-pigmentated fuck. Anyway, with that being said, I will compound on to your answer, Jaso. And you said why. And it is because oftentimes in any type of juncture that you're in, any type of occupation that you have, typically there's an option to where it's either you work smarter or you work harder. Now, with that being said, when it comes to these old, grandiose media outlets and things like that, so you have like the iHeart Music, the financial backers that are behind that, who sponsor the Breakfast Club and things like that, who are the people who put the money behind them to make sure that they are one of the largest syndicated, quote unquote, because they still say urban, I hate urban, radio stations in the country. You kind of need to go through them unless you know of enough independent black media people to essentially do that, like guerrilla marketing, as to where you're going to these people who, yes, they are like a smaller niche, kind of whatever the case may be. They are still integrity-based individuals who are there for the information, or you actually need to know who the Torres are, or you need to know who the company man Justin Hunt is, or you need to know who like other black people who are still in the media space who are connected and can kind of get you going. But if you don't have that and you don't care, or your label doesn't care, they're going to go, okay, who's the biggest network? We're just going to put you there. Go talk to those people. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask you a question. Who's that dude? He had that interview with Glorilla a while back that went super viral.
The light-skinned brother.
Yeah, the light-skinned brother. Like, even him, like, the people don't know them like that. Like, because in the new age, if you're trying to go, like, super viral like that, two of the people you're going to probably go talk to, especially when it comes to music that you're going to try and get on, is basically it's Kai Cenat and that dude. I'm forgetting his name right now. Sorry. But
yeah, I don't watch him. I see him when he pops up because he goes viral pretty often for being somebody like that's that kind of independent. Because he's independent in a weird kind of early Chance the Rapper kind of way.
Yeah.
But like the Joe Budden podcast, even though I vehemently disagree with a lot of things that they say on there from like a political, a personal, and ideological level, they still do have a very consistent, very large listening base. But again, you would have to know the American hip hop music industry to know this is what's going to come when you sit down with this person, or like sitting down with Sway in the morning, or sitting down with DJ Head, and I love Gina, DJ Head and Gina, or sitting down with these types of other individuals who have like their own podcasts. I think Scarface and Old Boy still have their podcasts, or sitting down with Jadakiss and Fat Joe, even though I think Fat Joe is a ridiculous scamming garbage person as well. But when you're trying to get your stuff out there and you need to move with integrity. Again, if you think that I'm lying, look at the people that Beyonce would sit down with for an interview. Look at who Kendrick would sit down with for an interview. When he was still alive, look at who Prince would sit down with for an interview. Look at who Michael Jackson would sit down with for an interview. You have to put yourself to be seen as elite. You have to move like an elite. And the most familiar word to an elite artist, performer, person in general is no. And no is a full sentence. Hey, you're out. Your song's going number one. And you want to come sit down on the Coon and Cuck podcast? No, I'm not going to sit down on the Coon and Cuck podcast. Like,
Hey, yo.
Come on, bruh.
what I mean, Charlemagne had the podcast with Schultz. It was called The Brilliant Idiots. Coon and Cuck sounds fitting. Anyway, said all that to say, this is why. And then your second question was why watch them. This will be very quick. People don't want to work for the sake of integrity. People don't want to be like, okay, I align with this ideology, I align with this message, I align with this type of person. I will seek this standard and metric out, period. What is easiest? If you create a new YouTube account today and you listen to a few hip hop songs, you listen to a few hip hop interviews, they're going to plaster the Breakfast Club and Vlad TV all across your account.
Oh,
All across your account. And people continuously go to these two platforms because it's easy and they have millions of people, residual watchers, and people don't want to look for the alternative because it's like, okay, Vlad's a rat. He's a whole bunch of other stuff. Charlemagne is weird. He has weird cases on him. Not allegedly. Go look that up. DJ Envy is weird. He said some weird things, participated in some weird things, also has weird cases. Go look that up. Jess Hilarious has said some of the most egregious things against black trans women, black queer women, period. Go look her up. And people still sit down because I just go to this radio station once. I don't have to do 3 other interviews. And then I go to the next problematic person who has a lot of backing. That's all. But again, I'm long-winded per usual. I just have very strong passion for like music and the music art form in general. So
yeah.
that's
No, and I mean that's fair. And we didn't even get to the actual issue of the conversation, which is the whole colorism nonsense that people still have yet to understand. It pops up like a terrible cancer every like 3 or 4 years, where like they just pick on the new colorism topic and go, all right, you're the issue. When it's like, no, the problem is the word itself, like the system that we're stuck under. Like it's not. And it's also the context of the situation. It's not. It fundamentally is coloristic, but the way that we live in this world is not. Her using that term is not colorism in and of itself. It's the fact that it's a term to begin with to describe a brand of people. When it's like everything's a social construct, and we have yet to actually internalize the fact that it is a social construct. So it's like, at the end of the day, she didn't say anything negative about anybody. She didn't say like, oh, I'm the best looking person because I'm such and such. No, she just referred to herself that way while she was describing something else in general. Like, the whole situation's a big nothing burger, but people have too many opinions because some of us are pseudo intellectuals. Some of us just want to stir the pot. Some of us are just effed up to begin with. The whole thing's a mess.
Some people want to take things out of context because that's really what happened there. It's not that, as you said, it wasn't that she was insulting anybody or trying to say anything about herself other than just a basic descriptor. It's not like she said to someone else, like, oh, hey, you're a colored person. No, she was using what is normal in her culture to describe herself. And if you take it out of that context, then and try to put it into the context where you feel like, oh, hey, it's a negative statement there, then yes, of course you're going to have a problem with it, but you're the one who's wrong because you put it into that context, not the person who said it.
Yeah, that's like someone going to like Britain and then getting mad that black people use black British slang. Like, you're in their culture. Like, she's referring to her culture and the way she grew up. And now we can have a greater conversation of, is that proper to use that in their culture? But like, at the end of the day, if that's the way they speak, who are we from a completely different culture to judge that as right or wrong? That just is. So it's just one of those things where it's like, y'all are just trying to start a fight to start a fight. So I can't take y'all seriously.
I will go and say on that, and there are others who, and this is something that was brought up in the comments because I was looking at one of the videos that we use as a reference for this particular uh, conversation here. And there are other people from South Africa that have actually used that exact term that are no one's had any issues with whatsoever. And then all of a sudden she says it and it's a problem. So I feel like they're actually trying to find fault with her rather than anything else. They're purposely trying to take it out of context to make a problem with her.
Yeah, it's like y'all suddenly don't like a black woman or something.
Wild.
So yeah, I think we can leave it there for this week's episode of Y'all Just Hate Women. And, I hate the fact that we had to make this a running thing, but it's like every time I get ready to put these episodes together, y'all just start another issue with women. Like, that doesn't need, it's a big old nothing burger. So,
And Jay, I think the people should appreciate that we are consistently inconsistent because every time we show up, you weird basement dwelling, belly button sniffing ass motherfuckers have something every 2 weeks. It never fails.
like clockwork.
Like clockwork. Like clockwork, bro. Man, go ahead. My bad. Just wanted to say that.
So yeah, moving right along. So Cal, did you enjoy the Chance the Rapper album?
Yes, 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 I did. I said it before we got on. I'll be honest with the people just like I was honest with y'all too um behind the wall. Let me add a little bit more context. I did not like Chance the Rapper initially when he came out, right? I thought that shit, because it's a jump scare to me. Because his normal rapping voice is like right here. The beat is he's typically like a little bit sharp on the beat. So it's kind of like, oh, your threshold of listening is like, okay, so nothing's gonna get higher than his voice. Cool. And randomly, out of nowhere, like a fucking Ewok. Like the perfect. I'm black, so I can say this, and it's not racist. I hate
Oh
when
no.
I be listening to people do like live stream debates or whatever, anything with a call in method, and a black person calls in and you hear the fucking smoke detector go off. His ad lib is that to me. Just, oh yeah, boop de boop, my name is Chance from Chicago. I'm an art kid, but I've done
The reverb as well on that.
For real, bro. You got some echo in
That
your
was
room.
perfect.
like, what is this? But again, it was kind of like, okay, he could rap cool. I don't agree with everything, blah, blah, blah. Acid rap, I was forced to listen to that until I liked it, essentially. And then the album that everybody makes fun of, the whole like my wife stuff. Again, to be fair, I said it to Jay-Z behind the scenes, I'll say it here. I personally am of the belief that as an artist, you cannot produce any great work unless you were going through some bullshit or have gone through some bullshit or are so high in the stratosphere as an artist that you're just like, I'm just gonna put out some great music when I want to and disappear.
Beyonce style.
Hmm.
Beyonce, Rihanna, later part of both Prince and Michael's career, blah, 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 whoop de whoop, so on and so forth, right? So, like, hearing that, like, oh, I just got married, kids, family life, it's change. I don't like this happy ass shit. I don't like this shit. Where is the pain? Hmm? Hmm? Where is the turmoil? You just happy, but not like I'm a billionaire happy, but like, oh, I'm comfortable where I am in life. I don't want you to be comfortable, nigga. I don't want you to be comfortable. I want you to be struggling or succeeding in such an insurmountable way I borderline can't even relate to it. That's me personally, where I was coming from. So I didn't like that. Boom, you went quiet. Then I listened to this. I listened to this album from top to bottom, like continuously through 2 times. And then I went back and like listened to songs that I like sporadically. First time I heard it, I was like, I don't really like this. Um, as like a whole project, he had some very good songs in there, but a lot of the album felt like disjointed to me. And then the second time I listened to it, I was like, oh, it just kind of sounds like he's like hyper focused on like getting multiple messages out and multiple vibes on the same project. Which when I accepted that, I was like, okay, well, this is pretty cool. Like I'm not mad at it. Um, my favorite one, obviously, with my background or whatever, is the letters song, where he wrote like different letters to different churches, and he was essentially like writing to his home church, writing to like prosperity preachers, and then writing to the black church as well. It's a culmination of those 3 verses and like the expectations that come along with it, what you're supposed to actually be doing as a church versus what people are actually doing to the community while being a church. Just like stuff like that. I like that. Dive into that because he's talking about like his when his people's being buried. I think it was his grandma, if I remember correctly. I may be misremembering. Um, but things like that, it was very dope to see that from a different angle. Like he's still like a very jovial, celebratory guy, very like artsy fartsy, but I'm still kind of outside adjacent kind of guy, just being himself. I love that. Um, that ad lib will never not piss me off. I'll be very honest with you. But overall, the album, I thought it was very good, and it's coming at a very pivotal time because typically we get our best art from our best black creatives when our president is a fucking tyrant. I'll be very honest with you. Look at what came out under the Bush administration. Like,
I mean, you're right
that's
though.
It's
that's some
you
spicy
know
shit.
what's crazy is I was reading that I think I was like on Blue Sky or something. And someone was like, "Man, we got the best Kendrick albums every time Trump is president." I was like, "I
Every,
can't."
every time.
I just
But
found
yeah,
that hilarious.
yeah, I do think that that is that is worth noting. I did like this. This, in my honest opinion, is my favorite Chance body of work. Um, because it's kind of like I'm hearing him from a more mature, more like life has humbled you
Yeah,
perspective.
getting divorced will do that.
Yeah, like because Coloring Book was cool, Acid Rap was cool, um, and then the you heard what I said about the My Wife album. But this is like I am I am getting older. I'm maturing. Life has humbled me because I kind of came in this thing with rose colored sunglasses, and that's not what this is. And I've made mistakes. I've da 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 da. Like even when he talked, I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's a whole thing where he has a song essentially talking about like trying to go back to his ex-wife and everything else like that because he has a good relationship with the kids, and she's essentially like, I'm done. I've moved forward, and he's like, I have to respect that and also move forward in my own way. And it's like stuff like that, like a finality to uh, like a story is beautiful to me. Um, and Final Bar, again, long winded. I love this shit. I can't hide it. Um, I really do appreciate older, not older in like, because I think he's younger than me.
Yeah,
Is
Chance
he?
isn't that old. I'll check.
Yeah, I think he's like 2 year. I think he's like 2 years or something like that.
He's
Or my,
32.
oh, he's my age. Cool,
Yeah.
cool. So like hearing people who are considered older in the music industry be more like human, if that makes sense, and like show you like, hey, this is the person behind it. I really do appreciate those albums. That's why I love the run that Nas has been on. I love the albums that I have just been in general hearing from older gentlemen to where they're reflecting.
Except Drake.
Great.
Jake is
I
still
got
an 18-year-old man child.
I got a bar for him later. But with that being said, I love this because it is showing not only is it showing black men, especially millennial black men, how to mature comfortably and be able to converse with that and deal with your emotions and shit like that, but it's also setting the groundwork for people who maybe think people don't want to hear of that perspective or from that perspective of music, i.e., I'm in Atlanta. Andre, bring your bitch ass back outside. We need an Andre 3000 verse with you, album. I'm sorry, with you rapping. Big Boy 2. I just love older black men giving their perspective after they've gone through that tumultuous learning period and everything else like that. So I think it's a very good album. Very good, especially coming after like we get the clips. There's some older black gentlemen from the South. They gave what they gave. Freddie Gibbs, he's an older black man as well from Gary, Indiana, gave what he gave. I have to listen to Kid Cudi, especially because that man essentially risked his life testifying against Diddy. So I definitely want to hear what he has to say on this album. So, yeah, I love it all. May God bless y'all, keep y'all safe. I want more music, more art from older black men who have no fear when reflecting on their life. That's me.
So, one quick tangent. Question for you. Would you rather have one or the other here? Mediocre music, but a government that can at least pretend that it's functioning properly? Or some absolutely fire music, but what we have right now when it comes to a government?
I'll take the second because you said pretend to be functioning properly. No, no, no. What did Brandy say? Almost doesn't count. Almost does not count, Devin. I need my heroin on Monday, nigga. No, I need this shit. I need it. Because even when Obama was president, there were a lot of black people who were like, hey, this nigga may be a war criminal. And people were like, shut up. First black man, president, you're a hater. And it was like, he's bombing babies.
So, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? This is another Blue Sky thing, and I'm actually been enjoying my time whenever I actually decide to open that app. Apparently, someone's already run the numbers on, like, bombings and drone strikes between a couple of certain presidencies that people like to compare.
Mm.
Now, everyone talks about how Obama used a lot of drones. Apparently, between this first, barely 6 months, and his last presidency, he's already dropped more strikes than Obama did in 8 years. And here we are talking like Obama's Antichrist. I can't.
Mind you, at the time before old boy got into office for the second time, Obama was the Wilt Chamberlain of that shit, Jason.
So here's the thing. That is over 8 years while we were still in an active war. Just for some context. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying we were still in an active war over 8 years.
Wilt Chamberlain had the 100-point thing. He had the 100-point picture.
He was playing against people that were like 2 feet shorter than him.
Yeah, so these shout out to my Middle Eastern people. Mind you, typically I'm not gonna disrespect people's religion. What I will say is they were not used to it. They thought they were getting a regular war, meet us in the sand, and they would just hear, boom, 30 niggas dead. That's different. They don't have a context for what's happening. Devin runs our D&D game, right? First time I played D&D as a black man, that's a proud badge, little Xbox accomplishment. Bloop, boom, you a real nerd now. Yeah, I like it. We're in there doing it. Imagine if our first session, Jason, you don't have this problem because you have context. You played D&D before this. If Devin was like, yeah, cool. I know we had session 0 last week. This is session 1. You meet in the tavern. Everybody's like, okay, cool. Still trying to figure out the mechanics. Tesseract breaks in through the roof. Wait. What is a Tesseract? Just
Stop giving him ideas. Look at this man.
What you gonna do?
You see the look in my eyes right now.
Stop giving him ideas.
That's what that was to them. They're out here talking on regular phones, rocket launchers. They're like, we got through with this shit with the other what was it? Dang, I forget the Desert Storm. We did this shit in Desert Storm and blah blah. We ride around with rocket launchers, talking on non-disclosed phones, and everybody got guns. We walk around with our chicks masked up. No, it's just your mask is gone. Oh, we're fighting phantoms now. So again, yes, Mr. Cheeto himself, he probably is doing a lot more. Terrible things, some of the worst things you've ever seen. I can promise you that.
He's the best at doing the worst.
He's the greatest man I've ever seen in my life. Greatest. But at the time, in context, it's like, okay, this is when I was a kid and we saw Obama do it. It was like, oh, that was great. Whoop de whoop. Bro, he was having niggas using PlayStation controllers to end districts. Like, he was clearing districts. Like, my bad. Sorry.
Again, it's a very good point. All I'm saying is that's right. That's the proper context. But imagine if he hadn't, and then next thing you know, he gets blamed for, the Republicans. He sent all of our troops to go fight all these suicide bombers, and this man was never gonna win. Like, it was a lose-lose. I'd rather him take the side where we don't put our people in danger. That's all I've been saying the whole time.
That's fair.
And then it's hypocritical when the guy that comes after him does more in half the time.
But you asked me, I gave you an answer. I want my Fire album, Shazo, because at the end of the day, the capitalism, its root thing is exploitation of people, period. So you pretending like we're better, but it's still homeless niggas. It's still people who went and fought in those wars who come back home. They're deemed as crazy, left out on the streets. Like,
America is a third world country with a Gucci belt. I'm not.
And that's why I phrased the question exactly as I did, for that reason.
Because you want to ask a jerk question. We know you.
Exactly. And then you look at where America is when it comes to infant mortality rate. Look at where the 3 countries before them are, higher up, and the 3 under it. If you took that and you took the names off of it, you would think it was fucking Uruguay or something like that. You wouldn't think it was America. You would just be like, oh, that's some Uzbekistan, da-da-da-da, y'all don't have, or you know how they do Africa, they don't call it the third world countries, the global south. They're trying to make it sound nicer. Oh, that's a global south country. Bitch, that's America. We're an Olympian. Never mind. I'm a chill. I'm gonna get us canceled. Let me relax.
Well, he caught himself, but no.
Yeah.
Again, America is number 1 in all the worst categories. So I am under no disillusions here. Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying people want to act like hey, bro, if we gotta take it there, we gotta take it there. Like, at a certain point, this man was in a lose-lose situation through and through. So bump it. But yeah. Take the fire music, I guess, because I need something to get me through the pain, because like, this is the running joke I make about music all the time. I've been making this joke since I was like 16. Musicians like Adele, for example, I don't want to hear them happy. You can't make no fire music happy. Adele makes bangers after she got out of a breakup because some guy cheated on her last week, even though she got millions of dollars. I'm just saying.
And the thumbs up.
Like, I'm just saying, look at Adele's discography and look at her life the year before. Why do you think you've not heard an Adele album in years? Because Rich Paul treating her right. You're not gonna get no pain out of that.
God damn it, Rich Paul. I've been selfish, nigga. The world needs
everybody else.
Nigga.
Nah, let that black man treat that white woman right. I'm just saying.
Yeah, touche. I got my own conspiracy theories. I think Amy Winehouse would still be here if a young nigga married her, but we'll talk about that later.
Stay tuned on another episode. We're not getting into that now.
That was my less cancelable take. That was the nicer one. Chill.
Uh, you know what? I think we'll go ahead and move on to our three body breakdown because that was ridiculous. And this man's definitely gonna have a lot more to say because today we're talking about AI. We in the future yet? Because it's looking real Skynet up in here right now. I'm just saying. I'm just waiting for the
Sure.
Terminator to pop up with the hand doing this as he's falling. Because someone come fix this. You know what? Cal, take the reins.
I'll be very quick and then I'm gonna pass it over to Devin because I have some things that I'll get into detail about. This is one of those things. I heard somebody say it. Um, heard somebody say it a couple of days ago, and once I started doing research and everything else like that, my own just looking into things, I internalized what they said because it comes across to me as true. It's a woman who's essentially like a law communicator. So she covers like trials and things like that, and like breaks down legalese into layman's terms. I didn't get a law degree. I'm not gonna act like I'm anybody's, official representative when it comes to those types of things.
We
Um,
here at the Just No BS podcast are not certified lawyers. We have not passed the bar. We've never gone to law school. This is not legal advice.
Only time I passed the bar was when I didn't have any money on a bar crawl. That's it. So, with that being said, her name
The joke was so bad, Devil's like, I'm out of here.
exactly. That's the bad dad jokes, bro. Her name, literally, I'm not making this up. Abso fucking lutely. Can't make it up. That's her name. Intelligent black woman. She's currently breaking down the UMG and Drake trial that's happening. And she sat down with one of my other favorite creatives, Stalk Crimes, and she was speaking about AI when it comes to media from the perspective of a legal standpoint. And she was essentially like, they have rung a bell that cannot be unrung. It is only going to get worse from here because, in light of this trial, they have showed precedent of AI being involved in certain things, especially on the music front specifically. And it's only going to get worse. So much so, you saw individuals who were involved in doing like the 23andMe, the heritage thing, and everything else like that. Um, and those individuals ended up selling over their rights and ownership to people's genetic code and genetic records to AI companies, which should terrify the fuck out of people if you know the implications of that. Watch a sci-fi movie. I don't even have to say one in particular. Watch a sci-fi movie.
Bro, have y'all ever seen Splice? Again, Terminator, Blade Runner? Have y'all seen any sci fi movie from the 80s till now? Have y'all seen Megan? What are we doing?
That's that's where my thing is. I be looking into so much stuff so often and everything else like that. I become numb to how crazy some of this shit is, Jazo. I can't hold you. Some of this shit is like
It's so crazy. We lost Devin. He ain't mess with the AI like that.
he's not. He said you won't take my yay. You won't take my mutton chops, goddamn it. That's what he said. He ain't got mutton chops. I'm fucking with that. But
Anyway, real quick, audience, if anyone's when y'all watch this, he'll be back. He let us know he's having some technical difficulties. He'll jump right back in, just like that. See, right as I was talking about it, he back. He all good. We
perfect
straight.
and perfect. Perfect and perfect. But not this is a yeah, I don't think people understand how dangerous this really is. Um so without harping on that too much, the thing was essentially baby chief do it, young guy who literally looks like Riley from the Boondocks. Um using AI to write his raps and everything else like that. And he was very confident about it when he said it. He was like, "Hey, yeah, whoop de whoop, I did that." It was good. It was putting some shit together after I gave it a couple like writing, you know what I'm saying? Right. What he meant was writing prompts and kind of pointed the AI in the direction to get it. Um, this is very dangerous. And I don't mean to be like the sobering asshole or anything else like that. This is very, I need y'all to understand that this is very dangerous. Not only do they have your DNA, you have artists who are not confident in their artistry or their creative ability enough. So now the artists are now giving their creative process to the AI for free. So not only do they have your DNA, they have the way that your fucking brain functions in relativity to your art form. This shit is actively turning into cyberpunk. Like cyberpunk at launch, not even good cyberpunk now.
Glitchy cyberpunk just.
And then when I look around, I see they have boxers boxing cybertronic like robots and stuff like that. And you're forgetting that it's a computer, it's intaking the data. So it's preparing to be able to come back later. This is what I be talking about to where it's like, I don't have grace, mercy, understanding, compassion, or anything for people who engage with these things recklessly. You're an idiot and you're making humanity worse actively.
But AI is the wave of the future. Yeah, that's some BS. So while he recovers, real quick, it's not even just that now. It's already been discovered that there are AI Spotify artists. Spotify, some of the Spotify playlists you like listening to, like Random Christmas Vibes 3, is made with AI, and it's got like 3 to 4 random songs you've never heard of because they were made by AI. Someone actually just did like an expose on that like last year. ChatGPT just be imagining stuff out of nowhere. Someone tried to use ChatGPT to write up one of their legal filings. It referenced cases that never existed. This was like 2 weeks ago. So, like, what are we doing? I understand.
Did you see there have been multiple people within the past 7.5 months who have used like AI, like ChatGPT and everything to be their lawyer in their case?
Yeah, and got their cases thrown out or insta-failed or whatever. Yeah. There's a reason why you have to pass the bar to be a lawyer. I'm just saying. Someone tried to pay someone to use AI to pass the bar. Insta fail. Insta caught. Insta, you're not a lawyer. Like, I get it. This is some cool tech vibe thing. Some of the prospects of what it can potentially do has merit. But here's the problem. When you don't regulate Jack, we take it too far. This is every industry ever known to man, period, hard stop, underlined, exclamation points. Did y'all not watch Megan? Like, what are we doing? Have y'all not seen any sci-fi or horror movie in the last 30 years? 40 years? Have none of y'all seen Ghost in the Shell? Like, seriously. No. Let me level. Have y'all not seen any sci-fi? I've got so many questions.
And you know that that's the nickname of the new iPhone, right?
What? Ghost in the
Ghost in
Shell?
the Shell?
Yo, someone get a lawsuit. Someone call the dude up real quick. Get him his money. Run them coins.
It's able to hack backwards the previous iPhones fully. They're literally calling it the Ghost in the Shell. Like, they're literally, we're going to kill you niggas. Plus $1,600 for it. Hey, you want to get this? And people are like, yeah, the camera's wavy.
See, that's how I know that, if given the ability, I would definitely become a villain because I'd want to get that kind of phone. That would be convincing enough for me to buy an iPhone for once. But I'd use it for all the wrong reasons, knowing full well exactly what I'm doing to be a villain.
This is
So I don't
literally the
know.
plot. This is literally the plot of the first Kingdom movie. Did y'all not see a movie in the last 40 years?
I would play that right there.
Did
That's what I
y'all not
do.
see Samuel Jackson hack telephones to blow people up? Like, what are we doing?
I was
Like-
watching that movie and I was like, give this man some money. I like this idea. Come on, let's go.
I can't.
And as bad as, and I'll throw this one in there. As bad as everything comes together, because it's a bunch of bullshit, worst timeline shit coming together, I don't think people understand how close we are to Repo Man. In America, specifically. I don't think y'all understand how close we are to this. Do y'all understand that they are actively fucking up niggas' credit scores, their livelihood, their ability to buy homes, their ability to comfortably move within their 401k as a result of student loans? Do you understand, statistically speaking, how common it is for an individual to need an organ transplant in their later years as an American? Do you understand how many Americans are in debt? Have you been paying attention to how easily the government can mobilize a bunch of niggas who are commissioned to lock you up? This is all the precursor for Repo Man.
Or Demolition Man. I'm gonna bring up Terminator again. iRobot. Have y'all not seen a... This is the title of the section. Forget the three-body breakdown. Have y'all not seen a movie in the last 40 years? Did y'all not watch Age of Ultron?
I'm chilling because I'm not, I do not allow them to make me, The thing that makes me feel away is the amount of stupid people who refuse to do basic level research on things. Like you said, have you niggas watched a movie within the past 40 years? More times than not, let me be nice. Let me be nice. More times than not, since the majority of Americans are illiterate or read at or below a 5th grade level, we're talking about adults. Jason, they've seen these movies. They don't internalize.
Or they internalize it the wrong way. Because, you know, most of MAGA think they're the resistance when they're really the empire.
And I will chill for a second because I want y'all brothers to cook, because I have a list to show you how creative genius is actively being stripped out from under us, under the guise of a new landscape, a new endeavor. That's all.
You need a beat, AI got you. You need some lyrics, AI got you. You need an ad lib, AI got you. You need a rap name, you're now little AI. Or little AI baby AI. Just take the new AI the Stallion. Just take the new hotness, throw AI in it somewhere. That's your new rap name, because this is getting out of control.
So I just want to kind of touch on a quick point that you brought up, Cal, when it comes to, trying to get people to go and do different things, a la Repo. I just looked up because I had heard about this. When it comes to ICE, they have all these different benefits just to join up with ICE. There's up to a $50,000 bonus just for basically signing up on there. They are covering like student loan repayment. So again, with people who are currently in debt and they're like, you know what, there is no way I'm going to go and pay for this in my lifetime. Oh, hey, well, if you're willing to go and sell out people and everything and kind of ignore their rights, then yeah, sure, we'll go and cover that for you.
Yeah, but we don't got enough money for Medicaid.
Oh, but they also, get great medical benefits and so on and so forth. If
But
you're
we don't
willing
got
to go
enough
and sell
Medicaid.
people out.
They
So-
do 2,500 a person brought in, if I remember correctly. Is that correct, Devin?
That I don't know. I can't confirm or deny that one because I haven't seen it yet. I'm just talking about just the sign-up bonuses.
Oh yeah, that's just the sign-on.
Yeah, this These are just the sign-on bonuses, my dude.
This shit here. Oh
Hey
yeah.
man, are you willing to, take away everyone else's rights? You'll get some benefits though. You,
Yeah.
you know what this is? This is idiocracy, man. Have y'all not seen a movie in the last 40 years? Oh, I can't.
Look, if you're willing to mobilize on, random people and take away their dignity and so on and so forth, hey, we'll help you get out of your situation.
You need a green card? Join ICE.
They literally, shout out to us being the most consistent podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's the best podcast. They don't show up every week. No, they don't show up every week. If you show up every week, you're weak. They're not weak. Some of the strongest men I know, tell me that they're the strongest men that they know, and I love them. With that being said, these niggas deported a nigga who owned a business called Trump Burger. They snatched a nigga from a burger stand called Trump Burger and deported him. The nigga voted for him.
The buyer's remorse is heavy.
So, real life situation. Someone that I'm working with. I was talking to said person, and they happen to be friends of a family that the head of the family just recently got deported. He was doing everything he was supposed to do in regards to getting his citizenship. He was doing paperwork that he was supposed to. He got a continuance so he could continue staying in the U.S. while everything was getting sorted. He went to the court, and they told him, hey, you got to go here to go and pay the stuff to go ahead and get everything taken care of. On his way to the location to pay like he was instructed, he got picked up by ICE and then got deported. And they said, oh, hey, you could figure out all that stuff with your attorney later. For now, you're getting deported. And now the person's out of the country, and the attorney is having a hard time getting anything done because the person he's representing is in another country. He was doing the things he was supposed to be doing by the law.
You know what's crazy? And we're gonna kind of retouch this later, but I just have to bring this up. If you ask any of these people that are supporting all this deportation crap, what's the process? They can't give you an answer because they don't know. Some of these very people that would want to do all this deportation crap they couldn't pass the citizenship test required that these people would have to pass to get their green card.
Because it's lazy thinking, which kind of loops me back to the actual topic at hand.
Of AI?
When it comes to AI. When it was first announced where people could publicly use it, it was supposed to be used as a tool, something to assist, along with the skills that you already have. What ended up happening, like with most things, people got lazy and decided, oh, hey, we're just going to use it for everything, rather than, oh, hey, I'm writing a paper and I just need someone to do a quick proofread and point out any of the typos that I might have had, and just using AI to just highlight any of those, and I'll check them afterwards. They said, oh, hey, ChatGPT, here's a topic, write this paper for me. When it came to the example and everything for people needing attorneys and so on and so forth, instead of saying like, oh, hey, here, can I get a little bit of information in regards to, some of the cases that might be relevant to mine, so I know whether or not I should find an attorney or not, or spend that money and know my chances? No, I'm going to have AI represent me. In my current job, we have things where if someone's trying to get into some type of training or so on and so forth, they have to write a letter of intent to kind of tell us, why they're going into that program. What got them interested in it? What are their plans for the future? Tell me how. I have had people who have admitted that they didn't write it themselves. They just put the prompt into ChatGPT and told them what program they wanted to get into, and let ChatGPT write it. Which, by the way, I have to read those and then go and tell them, okay, well, here's what's all wrong with this. But people have gotten so lazy because it's so convenient. And that's where things go wrong. In all those different movies that you were kind of talking about there, that's what eventually leads to those situations there. People just let things go from, hey, this is a nice tool to, I'm going to let this run my life.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you? Because I have a list. I'm sorry. Let me show you.
Before you get to your list, I got it. Since these people can't read past the fifth grade level, I got a movie that's at a fifth grade level for you that shows you the stupidity. Turn on your Disney Plus and go watch fucking Wally. I don't know
Yeah,
what else to tell you.
yeah,
True.
yeah. Wally will cook. Yeah.
Or the
So
Lost Robot or something.
this is. Oop. That's still bright. Hold on. Let me turn this down.
Turn down the lights. That man's
I was
in
about to go and
trouble.
say, that's so bright. I was about to go and say, now all of China knows you're here.
So this is nope. That's still like
Turn on
damn.
the lights. Future's a problematic man.
Can you see this? Yep, you can see that. So this, I have these things broken down. What I will do, Jazo, if you don't mind, I would like to save part of this because the ethics, like the ethical part of what you're saying, Devin, is what terrifies me. I can't hold
Hmm.
you. Like, yes, yes, there are people with skills and everything else like that who use AI as tools to make it better for them. But
Hmm.
oftentimes, when you have a situation as to where everything is gate kept by AI, as we agree, you being where you are,
Hmm.
respectfully, and you see like resumes and everything go through that, and then you have people who don't necessarily have the skills, they may not be the best communicators, maybe sometimes they are. But there are times as to where it's like, I trust this more than I trust myself to communicate my own work experience. Like, do you realize where we've gotten as a society? As it's like me saying it in my own words isn't good enough. Fuck if they know that AI reviews their resume on the other side of it. Do you see how like dependent people are on that? Like
Hmm.
that's scary to me. I'll be honest with y'all. That's terrifying to me because we aren't even fully ingratiated into that yet, but people are essentially giving up beforehand. So it's like we're missing. You would think that like Terminator and uh, Cyberpunk or Cyber Runner or these things would have like more context as like humanity fighting back, but it seems as though people are keeling over because they just don't even trust their own like intellectual fortitude to be like, I can communicate this shit to a person at least. Sure, I'll fail with the AI, but I can at least write it in a way that a person can understand it. Does that make sense?
Well, see, the way you just described it, it feels just like a drug, if you really think of it, because in the past, when it came to writing resumes, things of that nature, or writing whatever it is that you needed to go make, then you either had the skills, or if you didn't, then you would go out of your way to gain those skills, at least enough to feel that a little bit more confident and be able to function. And then once we started getting to AI, it was a, oh, hey, well, you could kind of use this as a tool or a bit of a push up if need be to kind of speed up that process of learning to get to that level. And then it got to a point of, well, instead of just learning how to get to that level, why don't I just let it do the work there and I'll just kind of look over to make sure it's fine, to the now I am incapable of doing that by myself. I have to rely on this. Is
That's very
just like
true.
a drug. It goes from, oh, hey, I got this just because, oh, hey, it made me feel nicer than this one time, but I don't necessarily need it to. Okay, well, I use it more often now. I could stop using it at any time, but I just like feeling this way. To, oh, hey, I kind of need this to get to through my day, but as long as I'm on it, I'm fine. To, look, I need this just to function as a human being.
That's dangerous as a bit. I can't hold you. That's dangerous as a bit.
Well, and
Hmm.
the thing
That,
is, the whole what's also Devin used the word lazy. I'm gonna switch up the word. I'm gonna use insidious because unlike other countries like the EU, America decides to say, you know what, with our big beautiful bill, the best bill, we're not going to regulate this. When Europe's like, oh yeah, no, turn this off now. They just dropped them. I literally had to go through a work sit down because my company works out of the EU as for part of the business. So I had to like actually adhere to some of the stuff. So like literally they're just like, yeah, no, we're implementing an AI law now. So yeah, no, none of that. Y'all can't use AI to share data, process data, none of that. They're shutting that down. They're like, here are the specific situations you can use AI. Both parties need to have clear understanding of what it's being used for. Nothing can be held for like they are putting the lockdown on this, while America's just like, go ahead, just scam everybody, no regulations, nothing, because Trump, I have the money. Like that's basically what's happening here, and it's like,
See, there are people at my job that use ChatGPT on a regular basis, and you both know what kind of work I end up doing, so that should kind of say a little bit in itself. I myself, every once in a while, use ChatGPT as a tool, as it's intended to be used. Usually, I will have some thoughts here, and I'm like, oh, hey, well, I want to add a little bit more here. Um, this isn't something that is someone's personal information here, but I have this general idea. Is there something else that I'm missing here? It might list off one thing, and I'm like, okay, cool. I remember that. I've done all the research myself. I don't need anything else from you. There we go. It might be as a brief reminder, but I never rely on it. I rely on the things that I happen to know or things that I can look up myself and verify myself, which is another issue in it as well. People tend not to verify things, which we already saw that in the elections. Uh, when it came to any of the stories that people found on like Facebook, TikTok, so on and so forth, you know full well people weren't verifying information. They just believed whatever they saw and heard. And in a world where anyone can go and make an entire video uh, using AI to make it say whatever you need it to, we need to go and verify things, and no one's doing it. So
you know,
anyone can say whatever they want.
speaking of verify, did y'all see that junk with it's the guy that used to be on CNN before his brother got in trouble, the governor's brother. Not Andrew Cuomo, but his brother. What's his name?
Oh, you got me. You got
Whatever. But there was that AI video where it clearly was AI that went around of Alexandria Ocasio Cortez AOC,
Mhm.
where someone AI'd her voice to say, weird crap about Sydney Sweeney, like she was at the podium during a legislative session, and it just they completely AI'd over it so that she was saying some ridiculous stuff. And I don't remember his name, but it was Andrew Cuomo's brother, the guy who's a reporter. The guy whose job is to verify information and report it to the masses. Quote tweeted it on Twitter saying, "This is not how our politicians should be acting. This is not the stuff they should be saying." And she had to check him and be like, "This is an AI video. Someone messed up on me. I have never said this. We're not even currently in legislative session, so this could have never happened." And she had to check him. And then this man doubled down on national TV talking about, "But you never said nothing bad about Israel." That's not the point here, sir. The point is, you got tricked. You and your, I don't know how old you are, 40, 50 something year old ass, got tricked on Twitter to an AI video. Your apology was half baked, and then you tried to double down.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, people our age and younger are going to be are just going to naturally be better at spotting it. We know what to look for. It's not quite that good. We see the inconsistencies here and there. For the most part, we're going to be able to spot it. A lot of us are going to, even the people that are trolling, are going to just take it for a trolling moment. But when we get to the point, and this is the terrible part of the story here, it's the people, our parents' age and up, sharing crap on Facebook, thinking that dolphins are suddenly growing arms now. Like,
it's not just the parent. It's not just our parents on Facebook. I'll be honest. I'll be quick. I'll be short. It's not just our parents on Facebook. It's a bunch of evangelicals as well in Middle America who are our age who are having kids because the worst of us among us are reproducing very quickly for some fucking reason. I mean, not for some fucking reason. We know the reason. They're bored. They're not researching or studying anything, improving their lives, or any grandiose step or anything. they're just fucking because they aren't used to fucking, period. Which means they're putting out other dumb motherfuckers and giving them half baked understandings of half of everything. So yes, no, it's not, we just can't put it on the boomers anymore. We're of the age. We're in our early 30s at
Well,
this point.
so my thing is, so my point was that like, I'm not saying it's our people, it's our parents' age and up that are more likely to fall for the insidious stuff. Those evangelicals are the ones that are most likely to use it for insidious purposes. Like they're gonna take something like, you know, let's just say something terrible happened, like Hurricane Katrina, right? It's on my mind because the documentary just dropped. But they'll take something like that, throw it through an AI filter, and talk about it's the end times.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it's the end times or not. When God comes down himself and tells me, then I'll believe it. But right now that just looks like global warming because y'all don't know how to stop using greenhouse gases. Like, but at the end of the day, this is the kind of stuff that tricks our parents' generation and up because they're not used to the speed of technology advancing. Millennials and like generations before and after us, we're used to seeing this stuff every 10 years evolving to something we never saw before. So it's like, we're like, oh, we know how to look for the evolving signs. Not saying that we're all perfect and that none of us are going to get tricked. I almost got tricked by that one. I think it was a video where Hillary Clinton was saying Donald Trump needed to get a Nobel Peace Prize. I still don't know if that was AI or not. But like, but the thing is, I questioned it. I'm just like, that don't sound right because I know what the growing trend on the internet is like. But our parents' generation, the first thing I think of is like Hillary Clinton. Like and because and then the generations after us are too used to having the technology without the forethought of what came before, so they just think it's the best thing to use to whatever they need to do. There are I like it's one of those things where it's like this is why we need protections in place. And unfortunately, the way our current political system is, it's not going to happen. Because no offense, no ifs, hands, buts about it. Hard stop, period. I ain't taking none of this BS. Any artist should have complete 100% in perpetuity protections over their face and likeness. No ifs, hands, or buts about it.
Yeah,
No
we
one
can.
should be able. Sorry, real quick. No one should be able to take Black Widow. What's her Scarlett Johansson? No one should be able to take her face, throw it on an AI thing, and say, hey, "All right, we're rebooting Black Widow." No, unless you gonna pay her bank for her image and likeness. Hell to the f no. That should not be legal. That hologram of Tupac shouldn't have happened without his state being like, "All right, we cleared it." Hard stop, nothing about it. Michael Jackson, any of them, period. In perpetuity, nigga.
No, let me do this. Let me speed back this. Let me get through this really quick. So Suno, Suno, is an AI generative program known for making songs from text prompts that's working with Timberland. Tata is the artist's name. Ironically enough, if you understand how greetings work, Tata, it's waving goodbye to something. Next, Freddie Gibbs on his recent press run expressed concern with current household name artists already using AI. Quote, he said, your favorite rapper uses AI, end quote. No coincidence, Ye out of his own mouth on his last two press runs said he was using AI on those same projects. In January of 2025, Lupe announced that he was launching a radio station that would play AI versions of his songs. Currently, in the UMG versus Drake lawsuit, the Taylor Made freestyle record, where he used AI, Pac, and Snoop, all that shit, they're actively debating whether it could be used in the lawsuit because not only was it not put on DSPs, we know why it wasn't put on DSPs. It's because that he was using Tupac's voice and Snoop's voice without either one of these artists' consent. But as a result of a sanction by the Pac estate, finally, the writer's strike that happened during COVID, we saw what happened, right? As soon as the writers were like, we're not going, and then there was a gap for media because everybody has subscription services and all these big media companies need y'all to buy into their bullshit. They brought in garbage ass creators, garbage ass writers, and used AI to help them fill in the gaps. Through those years, if you look at what those audience review numbers were, period. And everybody was like, this shit feels incomplete. There's gaps in this. It feels weird. It doesn't feel like somebody wrote this with a purpose. We're watching all of this shit hit the fan. I had to write that down because I forgot some of that stuff. This is where it's actively going.
No offense, it's already here. Didn't you hear? Netflix is dropping AI shows. Starting, I think, what are we, in August? Yeah, starting like next quarter, if not late this quarter. They're already dropping AI shows.
So essentially, where I'm coming from a creative standpoint. Because there are a few things that I really give a fuck about more than creative freedom, creative license, and artists being themselves comfortable. I'll be very honest with y'all. Like that, a lot of other shit bends the knee to that for me. This is fucking terrifying. And I can't say it in a nicer way, J-Zo, Devin. I get it.
Ain't nothing nice about it.
We trying to whoop. I cannot lie about this shit. This is some of the most terrifying shit that I've ever seen in my life. As to where niggas will be comfortable with accepting like AI shit. I know the jokes, like the whole clanker joke that people have been using on social media, like, oh, you're a fucking clanker talking to robots. I don't feel comfortably about how easily white people use clanker because y'all still haven't gotten. Never mind. Never mind. We still got another ER y'all got to get over. But with that being said, it's this weird denial of personhood of the shit. Like, I don't know how else I could describe it to you, but like if you watch Sinners from top to bottom and then somebody showed you Terminator right after and then had you play the Cyberpunk video game or Detroit Become Human right after. Like, I need you to understand the implications of how something as simple as auditory entertainment can be taken, bastardized from the soul of an individual, and then them be incentivized to put it in something that they can recreate at the press of a button. I don't know what to fucking tell you. If you don't understand what I just said, you have a 5th grade reading level. You have a childish reading level. So childish, you probably shouldn't reproduce because you don't understand the ramifications of actions at this point. I don't get it. I love alcohol. I've already talked to my wife. I will not be drinking alcohol as we actively try for a child. Though I love it. I love alcohol. It's cool. I love and I like water. I love and I like tea. But certain things, necessary conditions arise. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to subject my child to that type of shit. But y'all have not been able to take something that you like as a result of it being convenient and be like, okay, cool. I will cut this off for the greater good of something else. Everybody is egoically moving towards their own self-destruction. I don't get it. I fully, genuinely don't get it. This is terrifying to me from the standpoint of I hate feeling like the smartest nigga in any room. That's a paranoia for me. I don't like that. And it feels like everybody's looking at AI as, oh, this is just a tool, da 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 da. No, you have to realize that humans have no type of self-regulation unless it's instituted. Once it's instituted long enough, you remove the institution and they are allowed to self-govern. Niggas are hedonistic. This is where this is going to go. My bad. I'm terrified. I'm keeping a brave face because at the end of the day, I still gotta fucking live here. But
No, you
y'all
don't.
niggas,
Do a Professor Farnsworth. Pull a Futurama. I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
I'm sorry, I've been here. Bro. I got too many Berry family members here, bro. I can't go overseas. I like to visit people and pray for them.
You know
I'm sorry.
what? I figured it out. Let's take all the rich people under the eye and move them somewhere else. Okay, I'm done.
Take- I'm I just like the art form that I like, Jay-Zo. I'm not poo-pooing on Dev. I'm not poo-pooing on you as well. I just value music, and that is one of the first things that happen with authoritarian leadership. They search for history and creativity, and they try and stifle it immediately because those are the people who tell what history was unabashedly first. And that's why I'm like, I don't like this. And I don't know if everybody else feels this shit, but I'm telling you, that's what that shit looks like. That's me.
I
I'm a
mean,
chill.
at the
Shut the
end of the
fuck up.
day, like, we forgot why we like art, and I think that's a problem. Like, art is just the pure human expression. Even, like, as much as I hate that wave of mumble rap, even that in and of itself was a particular brand of art. I don't like it, but
Somebody liked it. Yeah, somebody
a lot
liked
of
it.
people liked it. The Young Thug wave just wasn't for me, but you know what? There were mad people that liked it. Is what it is. Final thoughts before we move on to me getting ready to crash out. Cal had his turn. It's almost my turn. Any final thoughts, Dev?
No, I think you wrapped that up all right there. Like, yeah, everyone has had their own different genres of music or particular rap and everything where it's like, hey, not a fan of it myself, but there was someone who enjoyed it. Once you start getting into something where you're relying on something else to create it, then you're losing that expression there. And then it feels kind of soulless at the end of the day.
Hey,
That's
Oh,
all I have to say about it.
Jimzo, I lied. That nigga Baby Chief was on the Chance album. And that's what broke my ears because I was like, oh, y'all did something different. Y'all left and came back and did something because I'm listening to Chance do what he does. Chance is doing what he does. And then I hear this nigga rapping off beat, not being comfortable with himself, and he sounds like he's reading. If you know what that sounds like as a rapper, you know what that sounds like. Like, hey, my nigga Jayzo, stuck in a peso, getting the caseload. Everything that I'ma do is a day close.
Getting
That
some queso.
that shit like that sounding like
because I
mm.
say so.
And I'm listening to this thing. I'm like, who the fuck? And then again, the story comes out. Oh, I used Chat GPT to write my shit. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck about you. You're a villain, nigga. You a stormtrooper. My bad. Go.
You good? Because it's almost my turn to crash out. You good? All right, I think we good. So, yeah, that's our three body topic for the episode. Because just be careful with this stuff, y'all. So now I'm gonna take a deep breath, and we're gonna enter a new topic. Because I got thoughts, and as you know, sometimes we have some final wrap up thoughts, and today it's my turn. So here's just a thought with John. I'm getting tired of these internet dating shows. No ifs, ands, hard about it. Hard stop. Get them all out of here. Pop the balloon. That Mormon Love is Blind BS. Take all of it. Y'all don't deserve the internet. Go back to writing letters in the mail after you walk down the hill to your mailbox. Like, I'm tired of this.
Yo.
I'm tired of this. Because going back to what Cal said, there's all this psyop culture war bullshit. I'm tired of it. Seriously, in what other part of reality can you go to like a place, look at a woman, pop balloon to say, nah, I don't like you, and think no one's gonna slide on you?
Mm-hmm.
You kidding me? Go back to the 90s. We actually had to talk to women. Please. But I crashed out so
I
hard we
just
lost Cal.
he'll be right back.
Yeah, but
But
nah. Go ahead,
yeah,
then.
no.
I need a moment.
Like
I need a moment.
some of those episodes are absolutely wild. Like there was one that I saw this morning. Like I was just getting up for work, and I'm just kind of scrolling through social media. I happened to go and see a clip. I'm like, you know what? This will be mildly entertaining. Dude came out and he just kind of had a polo on. You know, it was a little tight and everything, but he walked out, and all of a sudden, all the girls that were lined up immediately started popping their balloons, and before a word had come out of his mouth. There was only one girl at the end of it who hadn't popped her balloon. So he's like, okay. He starts going and talking. He's like, hey, I have my own business, my own, studio and stuff like that. I do this, that. I make this kind of money, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, one of the girls who popped her balloons was like, hey, can I get my balloon back? I just realized that I made a mistake. You know, I
Oh,
made
you
a
made a
judgment
mistake
based
after
off
you
of
heard the nigga talk?
yeah. He's like I looked at your fit and I decided no, can't have that and popped it. But then I heard that you have money, so we can just go shopping and we could fix that. I'm like, and the dude was dumb enough to go and give her a balloon back. Like, my dude, you know what
So,
she's about.
so you remember that running thing that people used to scare us coming into like the mid 2010s about, where it's like, oh, divorce rates are up because people, the whole divorce rate up nonsense. Like, divorce is 50%. Well, one, y'all have to be actual people now, so you can't just lock a woman down and she's stuck with you because she can't get a credit card or file for a divorce or, other BS nonsense y'all like to subscribe to the 50s. So that's the first part. The second thing is I'm just mad the pendulum has swung the other way. You would think that ladies would be more sophisticated, and the fact that they fall for the same superficial nonsense is ridiculous to me too. I get it. We have our preferences. We can't see that, Cal. Gotta need to get yourself anti-glare. To our audio listeners, he turned off his light so we could see what he wrote down in his book, and it says, "Y'all scare the women." So here's my thing. I get it. It's one thing to be like, I don't particularly find this person attractive, so maybe you pop your balloon. Not everyone finds everyone attractive in that regard. That is literally human nature. I bet. But the way these shows are set up, it literally is to hone in on what I ideally for a long lasting relationship probably matters all of like 3%. If that. Because anyone who's been in a real relationship for a long time freaking knows that shit wears off. If you can't stand a person, it don't matter how good they look, that shit's gonna wear off tomorrow.
And the bad part is, a lot of the viewers see that on a regular basis and think that everyone else is reviewing people based off of that, and now we started seeing that in real life.
And another thing is, these internet shows have taken the whole dating show thing to another level, which I also don't like. It's one thing if you go on one of these dating shows and it's like, whatever. You go on Love is Blind, The Perfect Match, The Bachelor, one of them nonsense shows, right? At the very least, you're going on a television freaking show. Like, in the back of your mind, it's entertainment. If you don't get picked or whatever, so be it. Heck, even that Golden Bachelor dude's already divorced from the person he picked. And I think that happened like a year ago. Like, all these shows do is magnify the, not even insecurities, but the superficial parts of what dating is supposed to be bad about. And there might be a superficial part to it. You might go up to that girl or guy or whoever, depending on your preference. I don't shame here. You might go up to them and be like, oh, I like your style. You might want to talk a little bit. Cool. That's first impressions. But if they just start spewing all sorts of nonsense, you're not going to give them more than like 3 seconds of your time. Heck, the most that might ever go through is a smash and dash. But either way, you're not staying there long term. Or at least you shouldn't if you have any kind of self-respect. So I'm just getting tired of these internet shows just showing the most superficial parts of what dating's supposed to be like. And it's,
Clicks, Jizzo. Like,
man, fuck them clicks.
That's what gets people paid. People,
Man, fuck your virality, man. I
but
care about the black brothers and sisters and other people that go on these shows finding real people. Because at the end of the day, that's all we got. Man, fuck them clicks.
but oftentimes, yes, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm not even gonna go so far on some bullshit to do like devil's advocate or whatever the case may be. But oftentimes we have to deal with the fact that a lot of people base their livelihood, base their personhood, base their personal success off of social media engagement, how many people know them, how many people recognize them, everything else like that. So I'm not saying that it's right. It's obviously wrong. We know that it's wrong. However, it's a game. It's a game. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying? Daft Punk, one of the few albums that I have from them, Random Access Memory. It's a song called Game of Love. This is a game of love. Period. And people take it as a game, but at the end of the day, it's like we are the generation that is literally having the hardest time getting married. Period. Period.
Yeah.
Worldwide, not just American, like stateside or whatever. It's
I don't
tough.
even know if it's gonna be millennials, bro. I think it's was it Gen Z's after us? I
No,
think it's
I'm saying at this point. I'm saying at this point. At this
mm,
point, we're going to get a very worse fallout. Like, don't be confused. It's going to be worse than us after, like, because again, look at who these people. I got married I got married last year. You know what I'm saying? Disrespectful alcohol drinking niggas such as myself. You know what I'm saying? Shine, boom. Somebody love me, bitch. Eh. Anyway, I'm joking. I said all that to say, I knew how to treat my woman. I know how to treat a wife. I was a shit person. I'm not gonna hold people. Whatever you find out about me while I was in college, it's probably true. I was wilding out. I was a I was a chirpy ass nigga. I can't hold you. I was wilding out. But it took me finding myself. Period. It took me finding myself, finding who my actual friends were, and respecting what my family had told me to find my wife. That's a
and
lot of hurdles.
yeah, and that's another thing that I think as we've gotten to this more internet dating as the common goal is the common way of meeting people now, but it's slowly and I'm not gonna act like I'm not one because I met my wife on Hinge, so I'm not acting like I didn't try it either. So take what I'm saying from experience, nigga. Anyway, so the point I'm trying to make is this: what this internet style of dating is taking away from us is the ability, one, to interact with people normally, like face to face, and
Yeah.
then two, it's taking away from the fact that when we meet people, yes, we kind of put our best foot forward, but it also means that to get to from point A to point B, there is a journey there, and we're just skipping the journey, expecting to find people just because they look a certain way, they make a certain amount of money, this, that, and the third. That might be something you don't want to deal with, but more often than not, if you say something is a hard line in terms of the way someone looks, I'm willing to bet you almost 100% of the time, no, it's not. If you actually get to know people, I'm willing to bet money, no, it's not. I have known people in my life to be like, I'm never dating someone who's shorter than me. Found someone shorter than them, but they were the right person. At the end of the day, that aesthetic, that first look, that appearance is literally just opening the door. Finding out what's in the rest of the house takes time, effort, and a willingness to put who you are on the line. And at the end of the day, no, these internet shows don't do that. These dating shows don't do that, and I'm tired of it.
I was waiting for you to say something. You're just like, nah.
This man's holding his hand up this whole time. Go ahead.
What I will say is, this is why I said it was a psyop earlier. Because I know what the whites are dealing with, respectfully. I've seen their side of it. I have. I've engaged over there. They be having roughly the same type of conversations, for the most part. For those of y'all who engage in Black Twitter space, Black Twitter, da, 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 same should be happening over there. Period. Especially when it comes down to like religious affiliations, you got like non-denominational white girls trying to align themselves with white men who think that they're non-denominational. They're presenting non-denominational. Them niggas Mormons. They're into soaking and all types of weird shit. Anyway, anyway, let's move that curtain away. All I'm saying is everybody has the same struggles. Everybody just does not speak about the same struggles the same way. Period, point blank. There are good men just like there are good women. There are fuck off women just like there are fuck off men. Period, point blank. You need to find where your common connective tissue is as a person. Whether that's a morale thing, whether that's y'all like the same books or media, da da da, and you have a common ground to jump off of to determine what type of morality that you have, to determine what type of da da da. Maybe it's the same type of trauma. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that there is a totally 100% right way to find a mate, but you at least need to establish some freaking common ground first. This shit is a psyop. Y'all are taking people off of face value. You're 33 years old at a pop the balloon. Bitch, you've made terrible decisions. Hey,
Facts.
no, nobody wants to say why. Nobody wants to say it. You are a 35-year-old man at a pop the balloon on YouTube. You've made some terrible fucking decisions, bucko. You probably should realize where you fucked up at this point. If you don't, oh, it's gonna be one of those situations. International Players Anthem, the music video. If you pay attention to it, Pimp C, Bumby, everybody, not Bumby, I'm sorry. God bless the dead. Big Boy, everybody else is in there, and Andre 3000 is talking like, yeah, I'm getting married. They're making fun of him because of his clothes. They're like, nigga, you getting married in a kilt. You getting married in a kilt, nigga, that's gay. Da da da, whoop de whoop. Early 2000s humor. Y'all wouldn't get it. He's like, well, I'm not gonna be one of y'all old niggas at the club at 60 waiting for the let out to happen to find a young girl. Very intentional placing, very intentional language. And then International Players Anthem happens. This is what we're talking about. You need to love who you are, when you are, and how you are first. The significant other comes after. And I'm telling you, I'm a terrible person, bro. I am. I'm very mean. I'm short tempered when I shouldn't be. I'm disrespectful if provoked. I'm all of these things. But I found one of the most beautiful lights of my life to remind me of not only my family, but remind me what home is. Period. That's a lot. Especially for me. I was outside. I was outside.
It was
I
cutting up, as the kids used to say.
can't hold you. I didn't meet Guillermo until later at the squad house. Like that's a regional thing. I say all that to say you need to find yourself first. And I can guarantee a nigga with muscles who's paying bitches to be around him and fly on jets with him is not the person that you are. You're not going to find yourself in a person faking who they wish they were. Find you. It's always self love. That's it. My bad, Jason.
No, no. I need a moment to calm down from the crash out because I'm tired.
My
Because
bad. You were.
I'm nah, because
You are
it's
wrong.
it's getting irritating. Like I purposely block those videos now. Like I've almost scrubbed my algorithm, all of it, because I can't. I would rather watch a cat video, bringing it back to the early internet, because I'm not doing this. No, I'm on the wrong side of 25. Like I'm just my blood pressure can't take it. I'm done. I'm happy. I'm chill. My lovely wife is over there chilling, watching TV. I'm good. I'm straight. I don't need this. So I'm not doing it.
Those cat videos are kind of fire, though. Not gonna lie.
Hey man,
Oh, there. Yeah.
classic cat videos, bro. All right. So to wrap up this crash out, I'm also tired of Jubilee. Fuck that channel. I unsubscribed. I used to be subscribed. I'm not gonna lie, but they used to have fun videos like 5 years ago. They used to have some of them cool ones. You'd be like, oh, this is an interesting experiment. Let me watch this. And then they started doing that whole Surrounded series, and now I'm just like, all right, y'all lost the plot, especially after that. What's his name? Hedi. I don't want to say this man's name wrong. Mehdi Hassan. After that video,
The Indian brother who was smart.
He's British actually, but yeah.
British, my fault.
Yeah, but no, he literally intellectually wrecked all of them. Devin, no! We keep losing Devin. But yeah, no, it's and then the Amanda Seales video that just dropped this week. I was watching a video where they basically just calling all these black guys the C word, because I'm just like, y'all none of y'all take an African American studies class? It's clearly you haven't, because y'all functionally don't know what you're talking about. And Amanda Seales had to cut, and the thing is, she didn't even cut them with like vitriol, just straight vitriol. She hit them with straight facts for however long that video is, and I'm just like,
That's where my thing is, and this is okay. So y'all can feel how y'all want to feel. Y'all too. Devin and Jason. I'm going to be honest. There is a different thing when it comes to debating. There is also a different thing when it comes to debating something that is close to you, but you may not be the best person to debate. I will be honest. I've seen Amanda Seales in action beforehand. If you do not know your shit, leave that woman alone.
big facts.
Because it's going to get very heavy for you very quickly. And I'm going to laugh at you. Because I am an intellectual supremacist. I will laugh at a dumb motherfucker very quickly. I don't care about ad hominems. I don't care about any type. No. If you are not smart enough to follow the basic progression of conversation or debate, no, I'm going to laugh at you. I don't care. Don't care. With that being said, somebody said it online. They picked the best person to debate 15 people.
Yeah, she was not. I feel like she watched the Hedi Masano one before she went on. She's like, oh, no, I'm not letting that happen. Because him and her, both of them just, like, first of all, it was a boss move when Mehdi Hassan was just like, the dude's like, yeah, I'm a fascist. He's like, bet, I don't debate the fascists. And he kept talking like, yeah, I don't debate fascists. And he just kept hitting him with like, you said you're fascist. I don't talk to fascists. And and then that man had to lose his seat. Like, and then he would literally, like the one dude, he's like, oh, I feel like we should make people take citizenship to make sure they're American citizens. He's like, bet. So Muslim Americans wouldn't be Americans, that this country would be more immigrant. Like, he literally just kept tearing people down with straight logic to the point where it's just like, yo, get this man out of here, because these aren't right wingers. These are cultists. These are scum of the earth.
Devin, go ahead before I say something.
No, please go ahead.
Devin just sitting here like, yes.
This is my issue with what has happened, and I don't think people really understand what's happened when it comes to application of this authoritative regime and the individuals that feel confident talking. Red states don't realize that they're financially liable. Period. I don't think that these people, how can I say this? How can you tell? How can you tell Forrest Gump that he's slow? In Forrest Gump's mind, he was happy to run out them braces. Everything after that is a blessing. These individuals are trying to have conversations with astronomers, biochemists, historians, people who majored in constitutional law, and they're just there like, because God said it.
Are you an
See,
economist? I could be. So you're not an economist.
See, I feel like these kind of shows are basically putting the Dunning-Kruger effect on display constantly.
Hey, Devin went up.
Like
Big facts.
every single time, people are so confident in being that wrong, which again shows it right there. You're going to on that bell curve, you're going to have people who are extremely confident, in their answers, either on the side of not knowing a thing of what they're talking about, and the people who are complete experts.
Yeah, and the indication of the wisest and or smartest person in the room is a person who doesn't know who knows what they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
When you act like you know something that you don't know, you are the foolish person in the room.
I'm gonna say this right now, so y'all have to abide by it. After this episode is over, I'm going to play something for y'all. I need y'all to be here because I don't think y'all know how low the public's reading comprehension level is.
Oh, I know. I know how low it is. It's pathetic.
I and I didn't know that this level. I didn't know illiteracy was like a multifaceted thing. I did not know that until I studied and looked at these individuals, looked at my mom has her own research, looked at her shit, looked at other people. No, no, no. Illiterate doesn't mean that you simply cannot read. And I was like, oh, well, I've been misinformed. No, 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 no. These niggas can read letters. They cannot give you back what you gave them after reading the same thing.
No
It's
comprehension.
oh my God, it's a level of like, oh, y'all are dumb. Like really dumb. And you're fucking first. Actively. Because the Lord said you should fuck. That's not me saying it. That's them saying it. No, it's crazy. But
Wild.
hey, I mean,
Yeah, no, but this is the thing. Like, it's also a two-pronged thing that we're getting ourselves into the situation. It's one thing to be like, look, you don't understand something, whatever. But it's also it's one level of hypocrisy in a way. It's another level altogether where you are trying to challenge the people that spend their lives trying to understand this thing. It's like someone trying to out talk Neil deGrasse Tyson on astrophysics. What are you doing? That man devoted, what is he, like 50, 60 something? That man devoted the greater part of, let's say, 40 years, 50 years of his life to understand how the stars and astrophysics and scientific thought works. That's what this man does, and you're going to try to tell him, nah, the earth is flat. That's like me going up to freaking I lost his name, but it's like me trying to go play chess against a chess grandmaster, and being like, yeah, I can beat you using this book, just basically reading a book on chess. No, just because I read the book doesn't mean I comprehend the strategy that goes into making every chess play. That's not how this works. It's one thing to be like, oh, I don't understand what I just read. That's fine. Everyone has that moment, especially, if your reading comprehension isn't a point. But to try to then take what you just read or an excerpt or the worst of the worst, a freaking Twitter link with a title on it to try to be like, yeah, see, this study tells me that, that freaking vaccines don't work. They cause autism. And then me going up to, someone who spent years studying antiviral, trying to create the new MSRA vaccines, and talking about, yeah, they cause autism though. I read this. I just spent the best part of 35 years of my life understanding every minutia of viruses. Get that shit out my face. What are we doing? Seriously, what are we doing?
gatekeeping. Well, see, we'll see what happens when there's no gatekeeping.
No gate. I literally saw something. And ironically, to end this on an antidote about double checking your antidotes, which I did, we had a case of the plague show up in California like a week ago. The plague, the Black Plague, the one you studied in like 6th grade, the one that took out a third of Europe. We just got a case back. We had eliminated it thanks to vac motherfucking seeds. What are we doing?
Throwback Thursday, let's go.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Okay.
Come on, Devin. Come on, this man.
No. But we have to expect this because these are the same individuals who are eating. Well, they're eating the unpacked. What was it? The
Raw milk,
eggs, the milk that was produced like with the bloody sap that's in it as well. Like, no, I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you.
To wrap this up with some sheer irony, bro.
Let them niggas die, bro. Let them niggas die, bro. It's
Darwinism at its finest. No, yeah. But to wrap this up with some in a complete circle, just on sheer irony. You know how, thanks to the dumbass in charge of our health system, Robert K. Jr., people are trying to start drinking raw milk, right? One lady is trying to sue a farm for selling her raw milk that she requested for because it made her lose her it made her lose her pregnancy. Like, she was pregnant, she was drinking raw milk, and then because of the complication of that, she lost her child. And then, to further exacerbate this nonsense, that same group of people are talking about, you know what we should do to get rid of the issues with raw milk? We should boil it. Hey, you idiots, do you want to look at what pasteurization means? Don't worry. I would say I'd wait, but you probably can't read that far, so I'll just tell you. To pasteurize something essentially means to boil it, you dumb idiots. That is the point. You boil it to take out any of the negative chemical, not chemicals, the bacteria or viruses that are in it, and then put it back down so that all you get is milk. That's literally the basis of the process.
I don't understand. I don't understand why y'all are allowed to have driver's license. I don't understand why you're allowed to vote. I don't understand why you're allowed to have kids. Some of the worst of us are the most actively political individuals. Why do y'all keep voting? You're the worst of us. At every fucking step in turn, you are the worst of us. My bad.
Go ahead, Devin. You wrap things up because we're going to go on this tangent forever.
So, I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but recently there was an article, which I did decide to look to see if this was actually true. I did confirm it, which, again, checking, sources on things. Wild idea.
Who knew?
But there was a man who apparently asked ChatGPT about cutting out salt from his diet, and he was hospitalized because of the hallucinations he was having. Do you want to know why he was having those hallucinations? Because ChatGPT had recommended that he replace sodium chloride, table salt, with sodium bromide.
Wait. Wait, so he did?
Yeah. Because he didn't know the difference and just simply followed what it said. And it said, oh, hey, this is me reducing salt, even though that's technically a salt in itself. But neither there nor there. He knew, oh, hey, sodium chloride is table salt. He didn't know anything else, so he followed it. Because that would make sense.
That would require research and reading and understanding science on a basic level. My 9-year-old niece knows what.
But because of that, he ended up getting a rare condition that hasn't been seen in several decades: bromism. Because with enough of that, you can have enough of the toxins in your body to basically start causing brain damage. One of the main signs is hallucinations. And to add on to that, there were doctors that actually put that in as an actual clinical case now. It is actually a published case. Because no one has seen anything like that since the early 20th century.
For people with a low reading level that doesn't know what centuries work, that's basically the 1900s, the beginning of the 1900s.
This nigga is obviously a victim of dumbassery. What the fuck are we doing, bro?
These are the same people that
What are we-
follow the idiot in chief that want to be like, you know what, that stuff you give the horses, let's inject that to stop COVID.
You know what? Conspiracy theory time. I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on here real quick. You know what?
Oh, hold on,
maybe
I don't got tinfoil, but here, let me just.
maybe, AI is looking at humanity and it's like, look, back when, Darwinism really kind of kept things in check here, when someone did something stupid, then, they didn't live long enough to keep spreading the idea, and people would learn off of that. Maybe, just maybe, we need to reintroduce some of these things back in.
Ironically, to also bring it back to an ironic circle, you know what stopped that from happening?
Mm-hmm.
Science.
And again, it's like, you know what? Maybe science is too good at keeping these people
Cal.
alive.
Sorry, Cal.
Science has gotten too good at keeping these stupid people alive. We need to fix that.
Because what I'm taking a quote from Neil deGrasse Tyson once again. He was talking to Hassan Minhaj on one of his channels. I think it was Hassan Minhaj. I could be wrong, but he was like, for most of human history, the average lifespan was about 35 years of age. From that time to roughly the early 1900s, again, median lifespan rose by like 5 years at best. And then from the 1900s, with the introduction of medical grade science and, making sure you wash your hands before you give birth and all these other things we have done, penicillin, all this stuff, then now the average lifespan is 80 years old. Science. It's like we learned and we got better and that kept us alive longer. Who would have thunk, right?
About to go on my villain arc here.
I'm just saying, bro.
God, give me
If you give Cal flowers, we're just getting another Brightburn.
No.
Give him powers, give me money.
No.
John, what do you want?
I need you to understand. My life's mission is to give you Sarkovia. Dr. Doom was the nigga who gave you the best. What if a nigga had powers and then the world got saved? Yeah, no. I'm Dr. Doom in this shit. I cannot express this enough.
Dr. Doom, Magneto, just all right, enough of this.
No. Niggas need to die. I'm sorry, Jeff. Y'all niggas need to die. I'm sorry.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end this episode before we get before we get monetized. I'm just saying.
Love y'all. I cannot. It's too many stupid people actively operate.
This is what do you think this is, Cal? This is early Toonami when they couldn't say any of those types of words. That's where Send You to Another Dimension came from. We can't use that language on the YouTube. This is Google Streets.
Oh my god.
Oh, but no. In all seriousness, if I can import, before we get to the quote of the night to end things up, if I can impart any kind of actual knowledge, the ones that are truly smart know two things. Know what you don't know, and people that have spent their lives studying something that you don't know, trust in them. That doesn't mean not to be skeptical, but you trust in the work they've put in because they've been doing it forever. I'm not going to walk up to a construction worker and be like, I can build this house better. No, I know the first thing about construction. So seriously, if I can impart any knowledge, it's those two things. Any final words, Dev? Cal?
Just to kind of add on to that, you are free to go and question whatever you'd like. But unless you have the knowledge to completely refute something, kind of leave it to the experts until you have learned something.
Real knowledge, not anecdotal knowledge. Not my brother's cousin's third wife removed twice from the family said so. No, like real. I tested this over hundred. Okay, over hundreds of tests, several years of type knowledge. Cal,
Jay-Z said it in ignorant shit. Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
facts. And to wrap things up, I'm taking a quote from Malcolm X. Education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. I've been your boy John.
Dev.
Yeah.
Peace, everybody. Be good people.